At 59 years old, Halle Berry remains one of Hollywood's most beloved icons, yet her story is not only about fame, beauty, or awards. It is a story about resilience, triumph, heartbreak, health battles, motherhood, and the unrelenting pressures of being a trailblazer in an industry that rarely shows mercy. To her millions of fans worldwide, Halle is a symbol of hope and strength, a woman who shattered barriers in Hollywood and never stopped fighting for her place in a world that often wanted to define her by limitations. In today's video, we are uncovering the deeper emotional truth of her life at this stage, the struggle she continues to endure, the personal revelations she has shared, and the inspiring way she confronts aging, health, and life's inevitable changes. Her journey is one that will make you reflect, admire, and at times, fight back tears. This video takes you back to her beginnings, through the highs and lows of her extraordinary career, her private struggles, and her public triumphs, until the very present moment, where Halle Berry, against all odds, continues to inspire the world. Halle Maria Berry was born on August 14, 1966, in Cleveland, Ohio, to parents Jerome Jesse Berry, an African-American hospital attendant, and Judith Ann Hawkins, a psychiatric nurse of English and German descent. From the very beginning, her life was marked by contrasts, between cultures, between hardship and ambition, and between stability and chaos. Her parents' relationship was troubled, and when Halle was only 4 years old, her father abandoned the family, leaving her mother to raise Halle and her older sister Heidi alone. The absence of a father figure had a profound effect on Halle's sense of identity, but her mother became both parent and protector, instilling in her the values of hard work, perseverance, and self-respect. Growing up in a predominantly white suburb of Bedford, Ohio, Halle experienced firsthand the challenges of being biracial in America. She faced racial taunts and isolation at school, often feeling caught between two worlds, never fully accepted in either. These painful experiences shaped her inner strength and her determination to prove her worth. Despite the difficulties at home and at school, Halle's talent and charisma began to shine early. In high school, she was a cheerleader, an honor student, editor of the school newspaper, and even crowned prom queen. These achievements were not just titles but a reflection of her relentless drive to rise above her circumstances. Her mother, Judith, noticed her daughter's resilience and encouraged her to pursue her dreams without hesitation. Halle herself would later recall, "My mom taught me that beauty was not enough. You have to work harder, be smarter, and never let anyone tell you that you don't belong." In the 1980s, Halle Berry stepped into a world that would open doors to her future, the competitive scene of beauty pageants. She entered the Miss Teen All-American pageant in 1985 and won. From there, she went on to be crowned Miss Ohio USA in 1986, a victory that put her name on the national stage. Later that same year, she represented Ohio in the Miss USA pageant, finishing as the first runner-up. Her success in pageants wasn't simply about looks. Halle possessed an undeniable confidence and presence that captivated audiences and judges alike. In 1986, she also competed internationally in the Miss World competition, where she represented the United States and placed 6th. The experience of competing globally gave Halle a new perspective on what was possible. Yet, behind the glamour of crowns and sashes was a young woman determined not to be limited by beauty alone. For many women of color, the pageant world was already a difficult space, dominated by Eurocentric ideals of beauty. Halle, however, saw it as only a stepping stone, never the final destination. After her pageant days, Halle transitioned into modeling. She appeared in magazines and advertisements, earning steady work that helped her survive financially. But deep down, her ambition burned brighter. She wanted to act. She wanted to tell stories that mattered, to embody characters that challenged stereotypes, and to step into an industry where African American women had long been overlooked for serious roles. When she packed her bags and headed to New York City in the late 1980s, she wasn't just chasing fame, she was chasing the chance to break barriers. And although the road ahead would be filled with struggle, rejection, and even hunger, Halle Berry refused to give up. The little girl from Cleveland, raised by a single mother and marked by hardship, was ready to take on Hollywood. After the glitter of beauty pageants and modeling assignments, Halle Berry faced the grittier reality of Hollywood, a city brimming with ambition but often indifferent to talent. In the late 1980s, she moved first to New York City and later to Los Angeles, chasing the dream of becoming an actress. But success would not come overnight. Halle's earliest acting experiences were small roles in television shows and commercials. In 1989, she landed her first significant part on the short-lived television series Living Dolls, a spin-off of Who's the Boss? Although the show lasted only a handful of episodes, it gave her a taste of working on set and an understanding of the demands of professional acting. Even with her natural charisma and striking beauty, opportunities were scarce. Casting directors often pigeonholed her as just another pretty face, underestimating her range and depth as an actress. Financial pressures were constant, and there were moments when Halle questioned whether she could survive in a city where rejection was routine. She later reflected on this period as a time of growth and learning. "I remember sleeping in my car once, thinking, maybe this isn't for me. But then I'd wake up, look in the mirror, and tell myself, no, you belong here." It was this resilience, this refusal to be defeated, that would propel her through the early obstacles and toward the roles that would define her career. The early 1990s marked a turning point in Halle Berry's career. Her film debut came in Spike Lee's Jungle Fever, 1991, where she played a supporting role opposite Samuel L. Jackson. Although the part was small, the experience of working with a visionary director and witnessing a film tackle race, love, and societal pressures inspired Halle and allowed her to study the craft in a serious context. Soon after, she was cast in Eddie Murphy's Boomerang, 1992, a high-profile romantic comedy that introduced her to mainstream audiences. Her portrayal of an elegant, intelligent, and stylish woman caught the attention of both critics and viewers, and she began to receive more substantial offers. By the mid-1990s, Halle was steadily building momentum in Hollywood, navigating between television and film, supporting roles and leading parts. Yet, even as her profile grew, she remained determined not to be typecast. She refused to accept roles that offered glamour without substance, understanding that her path to a lasting career required courage, talent, and a selective approach to her projects. By the late 1990s, Halle Berry's persistence began to pay off. She earned critical acclaim for her performance in Bulworth, 1998, where she played a thoughtful and seductive character opposite Warren Beatty. The film showcased her ability to blend intelligence with vulnerability, humor with gravitas, a combination that Hollywood had rarely seen fully realized in a black actress. However, her defining breakthrough came with the 1999 television film introducing Dorothy Dandridge, in which she portrayed the life of Dorothy Dandridge, the first African-American actress nominated for an Academy Award. This role demanded everything from Halle: dramatic depth, emotional nuance, and a commanding screen presence that could carry the weight of history. The result was a triumph. Halle Berry won an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and a Screen Actors Guild Award for her performance, cementing her reputation as not only a talented actress but also a serious artist capable of embodying complex, historically significant roles. Critics praised her for her emotional intensity, her physical transformation into Dandridge, and her ability to convey both strength and vulnerability. At this point, Halle had transitioned from a rising star to a leading lady in Hollywood. The industry could no longer dismiss her as just a pretty face. She had arrived, and she had proven that she could handle roles that mattered, roles that would shape her legacy. By the year 2000, Halle Berry had firmly established herself as a rising force in Hollywood. While X-Men showcased her global appeal, it was 2001's Monsters Ball that would forever change Halle Berry's place in Hollywood history. Portraying Letitia Musgrove, a woman navigating love, loss, and unimaginable grief, Halle delivered a performance that was raw, powerful, and heart-wrenching. Her work in Monsters Ball earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, making her the first African-American woman to win in that category. The win was historic, monumental, and deeply emotional, not just for Halle, but for the entire entertainment industry. Her acceptance speech, brief yet heartfelt, reflected a lifetime of struggle, determination, and perseverance. This victory, however, came with intense scrutiny. While audiences celebrated her achievement, Hollywood immediately placed new expectations on her. Every future role would be weighed against the performance that earned her the Oscar. Halle herself later admitted that the pressure to live up to the first African-American woman to win milestone was immense, both professionally and personally. Yet, in that moment, the world recognized her talent unequivocally. She had broken a ceiling that generations of actresses before her could only dream of reaching, and she did it with authenticity, grace, and courage. Halle Berry's life outside of Hollywood has been as compelling and complex as her career. Her personal life has often been in the public eye, and while fame brought admiration, it also brought scrutiny. Her first marriage was to baseball star David Justice in 1993. The marriage was short-lived, ending in divorce just a year later, but it was her first experience navigating love under the spotlight. In 2001, she married singer Eric Benet, a union that also ended in divorce in 2005 amid public attention and media speculation. Perhaps most famously, she later married French actor Olivier Martinez in 2013. The couple shared a son, Maceo, before eventually separating in 2016. Between marriages and relationships, Halle also became a devoted mother. In 2008, she welcomed her daughter, Nala, with model Gabrielle Aubry. Motherhood added both joy and complexity to her life, as she balanced the demands of raising her children with a demanding career in Hollywood. The challenges were enormous: co-parenting in the public eye, handling high-profile disputes, and protecting her children's privacy while maintaining her own professional and personal life. Halle has often spoken candidly about the emotional toll of her relationships and public life. She has described heartbreak not as a weakness, but as a teacher, an essential part of her journey to self-discovery and personal growth. Through it all, she remained fiercely protective of her family, committed to providing a stable and loving environment for her children, despite the chaos that fame often brought into her life. Behind her striking appearance and extraordinary career, Halle Berry has faced significant health challenges. Diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in her early 20s, she was forced to confront a condition that could complicate both her personal and professional life. Managing diabetes in the demanding environment of Hollywood required discipline and constant vigilance. Halle adopted a lifestyle focused on diet, exercise, and mental wellness, often sharing insights into her personal regimen in interviews. She became a role model for those with chronic health conditions, proving that rigorous self-care could coexist with the pressures of fame. Her fitness journey has been widely admired. Even in her late 50s, Halle maintains a rigorous exercise routine that combines strength training, cardio, and flexibility work. She credits her longevity in the industry to her commitment to wellness, both physical and mental. Beyond her own health, Halle has used her platform to raise awareness about diabetes, advocating for early detection, education, and lifestyle management. She has inspired millions of fans to prioritize their health while pursuing their dreams, embodying the message that personal challenges can be transformed into empowerment. Halle Berry's career is defined not just by her triumphs but by her ability to reinvent herself. After facing mixed critical reception for certain films in the mid-2000s, she refused to be confined by setbacks. Instead, she chose roles that challenged her creatively and allowed her to grow as an artist. In the early 2000s, she starred in films like Gothica, 2003, Perfect Stranger, 2007, and Things We Lost in the Fire, 2007, demonstrating her range across genres, from horror and thriller to drama. Each performance allowed her to stretch as an actress and showcase her emotional depth. Her rebirth as an action star came in John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum, 2019, where she performed intense fight sequences and solidified her status as a versatile and formidable performer. This role demonstrated that even after decades in Hollywood, Halle could still surprise audiences and command the screen in physically demanding roles. Expanding beyond acting, Halle stepped into directing with Bruised, 2020, a film she also produced. The story, centered on a retired MMA fighter confronting personal and professional challenges, resonated deeply with themes of resilience and redemption, echoing Halle's own journey. This move into directing and production marked a significant milestone. She was no longer just an actress taking roles, but a creative force shaping stories from the ground up. Through reinvention, Halle Berry proved that longevity in Hollywood is not simply about surviving. It's about evolving, challenging oneself, and embracing new opportunities with courage and vision. At 59 years old in 2025, Halle Berry continues to defy expectations in Hollywood and beyond. She remains selective with her roles, prioritizing projects that align with her artistic vision and personal values. Recent announcements reveal she is developing multiple projects as a producer and director, exploring stories that amplify women's voices, highlight social justice issues, and celebrate resilience. Her ability to pivot into new creative territories underscores a career defined not by complacency, but by reinvention and purpose. Family remains central to her life. She is deeply devoted to her children, Nala and Maceo, and maintains a careful balance between her public and private worlds. In interviews, Halle speaks candidly about her efforts to protect their privacy, while also modeling independence, self-respect, and determination for them. Reflecting on her journey, Halle acknowledges both triumph and pain. She openly shares how the pressures of fame, the scrutiny of the public eye, and the responsibilities of motherhood have shaped her. At 59, she continues to manage type 1 diabetes, demonstrating discipline and commitment to her health, a challenge she frames not as a limitation but as a motivator to live fully and purposefully. Yet the emotional truth of what happened at 59 is not merely physical or professional, it is deeply personal. Halle has confronted loneliness, the loss of relationships, and the constant question of relevance in an industry obsessed with youth. In doing so, she has shown the world that resilience, self-compassion, and authenticity are the truest measures of success. Halle Berry's impact on Hollywood cannot be overstated. Her Oscar win for Monsters Ball shattered a barrier that had stood for decades, making her a symbol of possibility for African-American actresses. She opened doors in ways that went beyond representation. She demonstrated that women of color could carry leading roles, dominate genres from drama to action, and maintain artistic credibility. Her influence extends to younger generations of performers who cite her as a role model. Actresses today, from rising stars to established icons, often reference Halle as someone who proved that perseverance, talent, and authenticity can overcome systemic barriers. She also paved the way for more diverse storytelling, advocating for roles that explore the lives, complexities, and humanity of women often overlooked by Hollywood. Beyond the awards and accolades, Halle's legacy is one of courage. She confronted industry biases head-on, challenged stereotypes, and demanded that her work be judged on merit rather than appearance or background. Her career stands as a blueprint for aspiring actors who wish to navigate Hollywood with integrity, resilience, and an unwavering belief in their worth. Despite her professional accomplishments, Halle Berry's story is profoundly human, marked by emotion, vulnerability, and reflection. In recent interviews, she has opened up about the loneliness that can accompany fame, particularly the isolation of being a trailblazer. Success, she acknowledges, comes with sacrifices, relationships strained under scrutiny, friendships tested, and moments of doubt even for someone as accomplished as her. Motherhood remains a deeply personal and transformative part of her identity. Halle has shared candidly about the emotional highs and lows of raising children in the public eye, navigating custody challenges, and ensuring that her children grow up with a sense of normalcy despite her celebrity. These experiences have strengthened her empathy, resilience, and commitment to nurturing both her family and her own selfhood. Aging, too, has been a subject of reflection. Halle challenges conventional Hollywood beauty standards, embracing her age while remaining physically fit and mentally agile. She speaks openly about self-acceptance, evolving priorities, and the importance of inner strength, offering a message of empowerment to women everywhere who face similar societal pressures. In every facet of her life, career, family, health, and personal growth, Halle Berry demonstrates that strength is not the absence of struggle but the ability to endure, reflect, and continue forward. Her journey at 59 is a testament to resilience, authenticity, and the enduring power of the human spirit. As Halle Berry has reached 59, the public has not only continued to celebrate her achievements but has also grown increasingly emotional and reflective about her journey. Fans see more than a Hollywood icon. They see a woman who has endured heartbreak, broken barriers, and confronted personal and professional challenges with courage and dignity. Social media is flooded with heartfelt tributes, from birthday messages to posts commemorating her career milestones, each one expressing admiration for her resilience and authenticity. The emotional connection fans feel stems from more than nostalgia. It's rooted in the universality of her story. People relate to her struggles with love, aging, motherhood, and health, seeing in her journey reflections of their own lives. Stories of overcoming adversity resonate deeply, and followers often comment on how Halle's candidness about her type 1 diabetes or her personal trials has inspired them to persevere in their own challenges. Online communities and fan groups actively celebrate Halle's contributions to entertainment and social causes. On platforms like Instagram and Twitter, fans share clips of her iconic roles, motivational quotes from interviews, and snapshots of her everyday life, painting a picture of admiration that transcends her films. For many, she is more than an actress. She is a role model who embodies strength, determination, and grace. Her influence also extends to younger generations of fans who see Halle as a living example that talent, resilience, and authenticity can break through barriers. Parents introduce their children to her work, emphasizing the importance of perseverance and self-respect. Aspiring actors, especially women of color, cite her career as proof that success is possible even in the face of systemic challenges. At 59, Halle Berry continues to inspire not only because of her past achievements but because of her ongoing presence, her honesty, and her ability to thrive despite life's obstacles. The emotional support from her fans reinforces a larger truth. Her journey is not just her own, it is a shared experience, a story of hope, struggle, and triumph that touches millions of lives worldwide. Halle Berry's life is more than a series of personal and professional milestones. It is a narrative rich with symbolism, representing perseverance, transformation, and the ongoing fight for representation and respect in Hollywood. Her journey reflects not only her own resilience but also the broader struggles and triumphs of women, particularly women of color, navigating spaces historically dominated by others. From beauty queen to Oscar-winning actress, Halle's trajectory from pageants to the pinnacle of cinematic achievement embodies the transformation of potential into purpose. Early in her career, her success in beauty competitions offered visibility but also confined her to superficial roles and expectations. Yet, she refused to be defined solely by appearance. Through years of dedication, intense study, and careful role selection, she became the first African-American woman to win the Academy Award for Best Actress. This journey symbolizes the power of persistence and the ability to transcend societal limitations, showing that early labels or stereotypes do not dictate one's ultimate destiny. From heartbreak to motherhood, Halle's personal life is equally symbolic. She has endured public relationships, divorces, and the scrutiny that comes with fame, yet these challenges shaped her capacity for empathy and emotional strength. Motherhood became a transformative experience, offering both purpose and grounding. Her dedication to her children, Nala and Maceo, mirrors a broader narrative about resilience through love, demonstrating that personal fulfillment often arises from commitment and sacrifice. In Halle's life, heartbreak is not merely pain, it is a catalyst for growth, wisdom, and deeper human connection. From victim to survivor and advocate, beyond career and family, Halle's journey embodies the evolution from vulnerability to empowerment. She has faced systemic bias, industry typecasting, and personal health challenges, yet she continues to rise above them. Her advocacy for women, for diversity in Hollywood, and for public health awareness reflects her transformation from someone navigating adversity privately to someone shaping public discourse. Halle symbolizes survival with dignity, turning her personal struggles into platforms for advocacy, change, and inspiration. Ultimately, Halle Berry's journey is symbolic because it mirrors universal human experiences, overcoming adversity, redefining identity, and transforming challenges into opportunities for growth. At 59, she is a living testament to resilience, courage, and the enduring power of authenticity. A figure whose life story carries profound lessons about perseverance, reinvention, and the unyielding human spirit. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Halle Berry at 59. Her story of resilience, triumph, heartbreak, and transformation reminds us all that strength is not the absence of struggle, but the courage to keep moving forward. If you were inspired, moved, or even a little teary-eyed by her journey, don't forget to like this video to show your support. And make sure to subscribe to our channel for more stories about the lives of extraordinary individuals who have shaped the world with courage, talent, and perseverance. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We have many more compelling, eye-opening stories coming your way.